We have some breaking news from the White House. There is currently a concern regarding whether the White House or the government will be able to extend the debt ceiling before it's too late. Right now, Democrats are trying to extend the debt limit as it expires at the end of this month, which would cause the government to default on its responsibilities sometime in October. The White House warned states on Friday that if they are unable to extend the debt ceiling, this could cause a recession. Now, I will go into more shocking details later in this video. Also, I told y'all that we should hear the real details of how the meeting with President Biden and Joe Manchin and Christine Sinema went on Wednesday. We received information on what happened, and it appears that President Biden was unsuccessful in persuading Joe Manchin about the large stimulus package. In addition, the Justice for J6 rally is going down today on Capitol Hill, and many people in Washington believe that trouble is brewing. As a result, 100 National Guards have been called in to make sure chaos doesn't break out. I also want to share with you what former President Trump and Senator Lindsey Graham had to say about this J6 rally. You might be shocked at what they said. And lastly, we do have more daily news bites to share with you as well. Now, those are just some of the topics that we are going to cover today, but if this is your first time to the channel, hey, welcome and glad to have you. On this channel, we talk about finance, real estate, credit cards, Bitcoin and crypto, and stimulus update news. So, if you're interested in any of those, go ahead and hit the subscribe button for me. That way you can join our community. Also, if you end up liking the content in this video or even laughing at one of my jokes, then be sure to like this video. Other than that, guys, hey, let's go ahead and jump right into the video. Okay guys, it's September the 18th and there is an unusual rally going down on Capitol Hill later today. This is called the Justice for J6 rally, which is a response to the people who were charged for crimes and criminal activity of the people who stormed Capitol Hill on January the 6th. As of today, there have been 643 people being charged in the Capitol insurrection. Most people know exactly what went on during that attack in Washington, so I won't go into those details here. But this rally is to represent the support for the 643 people who have been criminally charged. So they are planning this rally today in Washington, and they are expecting around 700 people to attend. Now, the organizer of this movement has asked all attendees not to wear any Trump or Biden clothes, as well as carrying any signs related to political figures. And he said if they do see anyone with that stuff on or holding up signs, then they would be considered as infiltrators. And get this, guys, he also said that if you are assumed to be an infiltrator, they will take your picture, find out who you are, and make you famous. Now, I'm not sure exactly what this means, but if they are able to make me famous, Budget Bill famous, then maybe I should go up and show up today. Just kidding, guys, just kidding. But you would think that the former President Trump would be excited about the people who fought for him during the presidential would receive praise from him, but that's not exactly what he said in regards to this J6 rally. Former President Trump actually said that he believes that this J6 rally is a setup. He believes the rally is a setup for Republican voters regardless of the outcome. He said if people don't show up, they'll say, oh, it's a lack of spirit. And if people do show up, they'll be harassed. So, as you can tell, Trump is not too fond of this rally taking place, but he had several ways of spinning the outcome. As well as Graham Lindsey spoke about the rally, and he said the police need to take firm line with the rally attendees. Basically, the people need to take a zero tolerance approach in response to any behavior. He said if anybody gets out of line, they need to whack them. So far, there have been no public figures publicly stating that they will be attending this rally. I'm interested in seeing exactly how many people actually show up and what's the purpose of this rally. As long as no breaks out, then I'm all for it. Go ahead and do what you want to do, guys. In other news, I told you guys that President Biden privately met with Senator Joe Manchin and Christine Sinema on Wednesday morning to discuss the progress of the social spending bill and what needs to be done for them to support this bill. As you recall, both senators are in opposition of supporting this massive $3.5 trillion budget resolution bill. Joe Manchin had stated that right now he can only support up to $1.5 trillion, but he still doesn't see the urgency of getting a bill done right now. since the government has already approved about $5.4 trillion over the last 20 months. And then Kirstine Sinema stated that she can't support this price tag on this bill. And she also claimed that she has some spreadsheets of informational data to use against the Democrats that are forcing this bill to pass. But anyways, guys, hey, Biden met with Joe Manchin and he was unsuccessful in persuading Manchin to ultimately get behind this bill. Biden tried to warn him that if he doesn't support this bill, it could cause the bipartisan bill to fall through as well. The White House was unable to give any more specifics on what was actually said in this meeting, but Joe Manchin held his ground and didn't budge, knowing that the bipartisan bill could fall apart as well. Manchin said that he is willing to stand his position regardless of the bipartisan bill. Now, both people, Biden and Manchin, were very respectful of one another and agreed to continue to have discussions around the subject matter. The Deputy White House Press Secretary stated that we do not discuss the contents of private meetings, but Senator Manchin is an important partner and we continue to try and work with him. So, no party yet with dealing with Senator Manchin, and President Biden failed at winning him over on the stimulus package for now, but they will continue to work towards this goal of passing this $3.5 trillion budget resolution bill. Also in the headlines, the government is losing time in regards to the increase of the debt limit. The debt limit is the total amount of money that the United States government is authorized to borrow to meet its existing legal obligations. Right now, they are coming to the deadline of increasing it before it leads to a government shutdown. Congress must extend or raise the debt ceiling before the U.S. would default on its payments. The government's fiscal calendar runs from October the 1st through September the 30th. And if they don't increase the debt limit, then a shutdown will occur. The White House sent out a dire message on Friday morning to state and local governments, warning them of potential cuts to federal programs if Congress fails to lift the debt ceiling. The memo was a sign of possible recession as Republicans show no interest in raising the debt ceiling. Politics at its best, y'all. Politics at its best. Now, if the government does default, programs like Medicaid, free school lunch programs, disaster relief programs, and other programs could face major reductions in federal aid that would ultimately affect tens of millions of low-income Americans. In addition, the memo said it could cause a recession. Economic growth would falter, unemployment would rise, and the labor market could lose millions of jobs. President Biden is urging Republicans to get on board with a debt ceiling increase as they did 3 times under the Trump administration. So guys, the government better get their crap together because America is not doing so great right now. Other countries are steadily laughing at us, and this could put the icing on the cake. They need to increase the debt limit, sign this bipartisan infrastructure bill into law, get this $3.5 trillion bill signed into law, offer at least one more stimulus check, and then fire all politicians in Washington and solicit all new ones that are under the age of 30 years old who have new and great ideas to make this country great again. Hey, I think that could be a slogan for Budget Bill to run for president next year. But anyways, guys, hey, that's just my wishful thinking out loud. But do y'all feel the same way as me? Probably not, because we are 2 different people, right? My name is Budget Bill and your name is Pumpkin Spice. But in other news, the CDC has found that the Moderna is most effective against hospitalizations. A Centers for Disease Control and Prevention study released on Friday found that Moderna to be the most effective against hospitalizations, although all 3 provided substantial protection. The CDC wrote that data suggests both Moderna and Pfizer provide more protection than Johnson & Johnson shot. In addition, Anchorage, Alaska says that their ICU beds are full as hospitalizations continue to rise. The number of patients in Alaska hospitalized rose again over the weekend, setting a new record. The State Department reported 210 new patients in Alaska hospitals, which is the most they've ever had. 33 of them were on ventilators. The state reported that 1,473 new cases were reported over the past 3 days. This doesn't care what color you are, guys, what state you live in, what country you are from, and most important, it doesn't care what political side you stand on. It only cares whether you are human or not. Now, the Pentagon has finally released the information regarding that drone strike in Kabul that 10 people. The Pentagon finally stated that they mistook a civilian vehicle for an ISIS threat on August the 29th. They ended up 10 Afghan civilians, which included 7 children. The Pentagon has admitted that this was a tragic mistake that they made, and they feel horrible about it. let's face it, guys, that fighting wars in other countries can't be all cookies and cream. Sometimes these things happen on a daily basis with our military fighting a war. I definitely feel bad for those families affected by this tragedy. And on that note, my time is up for today, guys. This has been another 4th stimulus check update for today. Stimulus check update.